We've seen each of the students represented here, and we've spoken about the drop on either side of the pelvis. As two-legged beings, we either fall into the right side, which is my traditional drop. You can see that very clearly. Or, as in other people, we fall into the left side. Whatever side that we tend to fall into, the constriction, the shortening, is going to affect our ability to send the leg bones down into the earth, to bring the pelvis into anatomical position, because we're literally pulled out all the time. And we don't know that we are until we have the opportunity to experience some freedom right in the root. Because I am such a visual person, I have had to create for myself a picture of what this perineal circular area is like. And I liken it to a clock face. Even though the perineal area is more triangulated, in between the anus and genitals, in this area where the muscle is so convoluted and sometimes contorted because of this pulling across the floor of the pelvis. How do we unravel? How do I get in touch with the drop that's happening in the right side of my body? So as I unravel, and between, if I liken this to a clock face, and as I open up in the floor of the pelvis and try to get out of my distortion, and I go into a forward bend, without getting out of my distortion, I am like this. But if I look at a clock face, and I see that 12 o'clock is right behind the genitals, remembering that this is only a 1 inch, 1 1/4 inch circle, and 6 o'clock is in front of the anus, I droop into my right side. So as I fall into my right side, the numbers in the right side of my perineal circle are rolling in to the midline of this clock. I don't have any space. If I don't have any space and the musculature rolls around the bone because I've literally fallen into the center of this circle, I'm never going to be able to access the psoas muscle in the most optimum way. And the psoas muscle is so necessary in order to extend the leg bone out of the pelvis and to allow the spine to come out of the pelvis. I must learn how to stand on two legs. And right now, with my perineal area dropped, with my musculature collapsed into that midline, I'm not standing on either leg actually. I'm collapsed into my right, I'm being twisted around, I have a history of sciatica, and the spiral of the muscles are just turning and turning and turning and tightening layers and layers and layers deep, all the way to the fascia, the connective tissue. So, where is this constriction? If I put my awareness in the middle of that circle where the hands of the clock meet, and I visualize, I look between 12 and 1 o'clock in my virtual clock inside my perineum, and I say, I wonder if I can unravel, if I can unfurl these muscles so that I can lift myself and create space in the floor of the pelvis to better use my psoas, and learn to stand in my left leg. If I make space and I lift up out of this droopy right side, I'm going to be able to bring my awareness down into my left leg and lift this upper torso right out of my right leg and begin to unspiral the muscles in my sacroiliac area. So I'm focusing between 12 and 1, and then between 1 and 2. And I'm moving the front of the perineum at 12 o'clock back so that I can allow the freedom in the roots of the thighs and allow these femur bones to fall into my back body, to release the muscle off the bone, to allow my right arch to lift, because I've sprained this ankle 3 times over the course of my lifetime because of this collapse and not using the whole foot. So how much awareness can I bring into this perineal circle and unravel to create the freedom necessary to stand evenly on 2 legs? And it's a journey. I'm moving constantly on the inner body. I'm breathing deeper into the floor of my pelvis. I'm allowing my low back to lengthen as I fall into my back body and allow my bones to fall. I can climb out, I can crawl right out of my lower body and get taller and experience more freedom and be out of pain. That's what I want for all of us, to be able to recognize the distortion, to be able to be proactive in our own healing. And all we need is the tools. And it's just a clock.